In the early 1990s, Freddy Krueger was still a pop culture icon, even if the box office sales didn't reflect that. Krueger mania was still alive and well, even if they were trying to kill him off in the films. In 1991, New Line Cinema killed off Krueger for good in one of the most anticlimactic series finales, but it was from his death that a new dream demon was born. Coming out the same year as Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, Dream Stalker stole the formula and tried to run with it. Being a cheap, shot-on-video, straight-to-video feature, it never had a chance to reach the same large audience as the Elm Street films. Listen, if New Line Cinema wasn't going to continue making money off this idea, why not capitalize and make it the way you want to make it? And as we'll do all month with these proclaimed Elm Street ripoffs, we'll dip our toes into the surface level similarities before we dive into the plot and really break down those differences. And of course, we'll end with a rating to determine if Dream Stalker really is a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. A man is brutally killed in a fiery accident. He haunts the dreams of our lead girl, and his face is burned and scarred from his death. In these dreams, he kills her friends, and when she wakes up, her friends are dead in real life. This burned dream demon says silly one-liners as well.
It's dangerous to play with sticks. What the?
From the burned killer to the nightmares impacting real life, yeah, it's safe to say that Dream Stalker is a ripoff of A Nightmare on Elm Street, but first let's dive into the plot to see if there's any spark of originality here. Supermodel Brittany and her motorbike riding boyfriend Ricky are the cutest couple. They love each other so much and they share in so many tender moments. Ricky gives Britt a creepy clown musical box and makes her promise that they'll be together forever. Well, while on a work trip, Britt gets the news that Ricky is dead. He died in a fiery crash while racing his motorbike, and as you can imagine, this completely destroys her. 3 years pass after that terrible accident, and Britt begins to see Ricky's doctor and discovers that she has kinetic abilities. While dreaming, she can manipulate things in the real world. Ricky's doctor tells her that she needs to move on with her life and to move on from Ricky. Well, this makes Ricky pretty angry, and he comes back from the dead in Britt's dreams, and he starts killing from beyond the grave. As Brittany tries to get over Ricky, she goes to a camping site to stay in a cabin where she meets longtime friend Sage and new love interest Greg. When she dreams, Ricky uses her kinetic powers to kill the ones that get close to her, including some creepy guys who tried to rape her. She's terrified of these dreams, and it goes beyond that too, because whenever the music box is playing, Ricky can also take form in the physical world and kill. Ricky isn't the sweet man that Brittany fell in love with. He's mad that she's trying to move on with her life, so instead of trying to win back her love, he tries to force his way back into her life. So yeah, Dream Stalker does differ a tad from A Nightmare on Elm Street by focusing on a love connection, but my goodness, it doesn't stray far. Before getting into the bad, let's focus on the good. Dream Stalker is cheap, but I never want to knock a film for that. Sometimes you can't secure money, and it's great that you're still able to make a film without the help of Hollywood funds. The money for Dream Stalker clearly went into its effects. Ricky looks phenomenal for this type of straight-to-video movie. I love the motocross look with the gnarly burns on one side of his face. The little eyeball is the icing on top, and they don't use the makeup sparingly. They don't hide him until the end. He's all over the movie, and I love it. The gore effects are pretty decent and gnarly. There is some awkward TNA as well if you're into that. The lovemaking scenes here are just a little too weird for me. The film is shot well considering the budget. Scenes are lit well even at night. Fog can be a bit much, but I personally think it adds to the atmosphere. There's also a stunt in here that is really impressive for this kind of movie. The stunt guy was working on his resume, so he did the stunt for free. He jumped from the second-story balcony and partially missed the small mattress that he had set out. He ended up bouncing off the ground and he broke his leg in 3 places. The first thing the stuntman said right after was, "Did you get the shot?" He didn't care about his broken leg, and that is dedication. And now, on to the bad. Apparently the sound mix was lost, so dialogue sounds muted at times. I needed to watch the film with subtitles on just to know what was happening. It really hinders the viewing experience. Acting is also fairly bad, but nothing show-stopping. It's typical for a cheap film like this to have a handful of below-average performances. This is a bit nitpicky, but the music is a bit repetitive. The creepy clown music box is always playing, and it plays during every nightmare scene. The movie is also just confusing. All in all, yeah, Dream Stalker isn't original, but I loved my time with it. It's a bad movie for sure, but the movie never takes itself too seriously. It's dumb fun, and it's pretty good considering how cheaply it was made. It takes a well-known idea and it owns up to it. It doesn't reinvent anything, but that's okay. It's a pretty easy watch, but I realize that shot-on-video horror films aren't for everyone. I appreciate backyard filmmaking, and to me, these kind of films are inspirational. So how much Elm Street DNA does Dream Stalker have? I'd say it's about 80% a Nightmare on Elm Street and 20% its own thing. Yeah, Dream Stalker isn't original, but at least it's a fun, entertaining flick that never takes itself too seriously. And that's all I have for tonight, so thank you for watching, and sweet dreams, everyone. I'm curious, for anyone still watching, is it a dream of yours to make your own horror film? And if you could, what subgenre of horror would you want to make? Like maybe a slasher, a ghost movie, maybe a thriller? I'd love to know in the comments below. Thanks.